Hello guys, this is Art from Techno Guy. I am doing part 2 of our form creation screen. We were in the process, if you refer to our last video, editing and creating an expense form or creating a form. This is part 2 of that. The last video we went through, we were designing this form you see on the screen here. We're cleaning it up a little bit, getting all the features just the way we like them. Auto-populating some of the fields like date. We created some buttons to make it so we could edit, add, save. One of the things though we couldn't do with edit is we didn't have like the other record sources. Like okay, so I added a couple of expenses, but you know, now it'd be nice to go back in and be like, oh, I need to make a change to the water bill, or I need to make a change to the electric bill. How would I go in and edit it? I mean, how does this screen know to get to the water bill so we can edit that? And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm back on the screen, add underscore edit underscore expense screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select on the screen and I'm going to say add a gallery, and we're going to do a blank gallery, and on the right hand side we're going to do expense names. That's going to be our data source. Okay. And then I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. I'm going to leave some room on top for my buttons. This screen's going to be small. We only want a couple lines, and then we'll put a scroll bar. Whereas we don't have that much screen real estate. Mind you, we're going to be working off of a cell phone. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say this is bulk gallery. We just need, I'm trying to decipher, make it so these two galleries are different. So we have a couple other galleries in here that are similar. So okay, so that, and then again, we don't have, you see how I selected that data source, and then you see views. I was talking about views last time in the other video, and then you can create a view. If I was to hit active, it'll go ahead, and if I go in the field, see I don't have anything active in this field. I explained in the other video that if you go back to tables in the home screen under DataVerse, I can select the table. Let's see, just go back to tables. Okay, I select custom up here so I can actually see what are my tables that I created. I went back to expense name. Under expense name, you have a whole bunch of other properties, columns, relationships, business view, or business rules, because you can add some logic in here. Forms, dashboards, charts, keys, a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm going to views, and then under active views, I just have these two columns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I want to be able to see under active view, I want to see the fax number, I want to see the office number, I want to see the address. These are common things that I'm going to want on my form. Now created on, I don't want it to be there, I want it to be at the end. Then I don't want the fax number to be here. I would like to see the office number before that. And then I also want to see notes. So show me them expense notes, and I want to see that before anything else. And then once you have your data in this table looking the way you want it, then you're good. So right now I have the expense name, the notes, the office number, the fax number, and the address, and the date it was created. Those are the only things I'm concerned about. My view is going to be the active view, and you can name it whatever you like. You can also sort it by a specific way that you're used to seeing things. You can also do filters. So that's a whole different program there, but like say there's only specific things you want this view to show. You can sort of have it all predefined in this view. That way when you pull across the data source, it'll already be adjusted for you. So that's what we did here. We adjusted this. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And then once it saves, I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. Now, once that publishes, I'm going to go back over to our app screen, once it publishes, any day now. Okay, back to our app screen. To make sure that the changes have taken effect, I'm going to go back to my data source on the left, go to expense names, click on the three dots here, and I'm going to refresh that data. It's going to go pull any changes that have been modified on the back end and make it so it's relevant on this screen. So now, if I say, I'm going to go back to none, and then I'm going to say expense names. Now if I hit fields, and it backfired in my face, right on video. Great. Okay, one sec. Okay, so I paused it for a second. I figured out why it wasn't working. It's because I selected a blank. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And then I'm going to go back to gallery. I'm going to say vertical. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to expense names. And right away the galleries, see, it's auto-populating like what it is that it thinks I'm trying to see here. And then under here, I'm going to say, okay, the data source is expense names. The view is as active expenses. And then you can see right here, it's because the gallery is sort of has predefined stuff in it. Well, as far as the layout, it gives you limited sort of changes you can do here. Some of them are nice because if you're doing something graphic, you know, you'll sort of see what's going on here. But what I want is I'm going to do title, subtitle, and body. That usually does it. And then sure enough, okay, so we have the new name of the bill. Let's see, if I go back to fields, it tells me. So if you wanted to adjust this, let's see, body, this is body 2. This is subtitle 3 is the expense note. And then title 3 is the expense name, which is up on top. So it's sort of flip-flopped in this order. But I'm fine with this. We'll go ahead and shrink this down a little bit. I'm going to clean this up. So this, and this, I'm going to say, your height is 32, and you are going to be font size 12. Same thing here. Height's going to be this is fine. This is fine. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. Number. You know what? I don't even need the notes. I'll just do that. See, I do want to add a field. I want to add another label. And it tries to guess what the next label is that you want to see. It threw the office number in there again. But I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. I'm gonna say I want to see what is the expense. What does this thing normally cost? This item dot it's not an expense name. Let's see, what do we have? What other data fields do we have? Did we have a cost in here? No, we didn't have a cost in there. I'm looking for something we don't have. Great. Okay, so fine. I'm just going to keep this just like this. We got the new bill name. We got the number. Okay, and then I'm going to just add an outline. Just so I know spacing-wise where I'm at. And then shrink this. My whole thing is I'm trying to get this tighter. And I think we can. So we got new bill name. and we'll put the number right here. I'm going to put a border on this just so we can see all this, get our spacing tight. I'll stretch this out just a little bit longer. I think that's cool. And then I'll put the number right here. Make that 32 as well. And then the height is 32. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure, okay, they lined up right, but I could select this, click right, align to the bottom. And then I'm going to select on the field again and tighten that up even more. Okay, so now if I go back to this gallery, which is bulk expense gallery. And the reason, I mean, we want to make sure you're naming these things because it will run away on you. Okay. And then I'm going to shrink this down a little bit so we still got room for buttons up on top. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say if this form up here, the expense form, its data source, its item is going to be is bulk expense gallery dot selected. Now what that's going to do is anything that I have selected up here is going to pop up down here unless we're modifying records. Okay, so that's how that works. And then here we have this little navigational button that will take us to that bill. I'm going to go ahead, or it should, on select. I'm going to take this out. We don't need it. And then that should give us more room to actually push this over a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Now, another little cool thing I like doing is we're going to go and I'm going to go back to the gallery and I'm going to scroll down here on the properties and I'm going to say under transition, we're going to make it pop. Make it pop a little bit. And then I also want to, so what that does is, see, it sort of pops out a little bit to let you know you selected it. But I also want to sort of make it so that it's highlighted. It shows you which one you're selected on. See, if I hit this, it goes to new bill. If I hit this, it goes to water bill. But I also want to be able to have it highlighted. So let's do that next. Okay, so I took a second to look this up. I'm still going through these. You're not going to remember all of them by heart. But what I did is I forgot. It's under template fill. And then what I'm doing is I'm creating this. I copy and pasted this over from PowerApps forum. I looked up the super user, Reza Dorrani. If you guys haven't checked him out, go check out his channel. Check out Daniel Christian. Check out Shane. And check out April Dunnam. These are my go-to people when I need to reference something. I've been following them very strongly. I highly recommend it if you want to get past the learning curve on PowerApps. These guys are totally awesome. So what I did is I copied this if statement that Reza Dorrani was helping somebody else with. I pasted it under the property. When I selected this gallery, I went under the property template fill, and then I pasted this. I'm not going to go and use the RGB code, so I'm gonna rip this out. And the true value is going to be, if this is selected, I'm going to say the color is going to be Alice Blue. Alice Blue. Select that. And then if it's not selected, it's going to be white. And then I'm going to close the bracket. And there you go. So now, and what I'm going to do just to sort of keep things looking cleaner, let me give some space here. this in the middle. I'm going to align it middle. Oop. Zoom in a little bit here. Make sure we get our spacing right. That looks better. I just want to show a little bit of pop of that blue. And then that's a nice little clean outline. Okay. And then the fields, I want both of these fields, the color, I want these things to be white. And now you can see it's highlighted, but it's not all colored blue. That should look a little bit cleaner. And we'll go ahead and run it. And then sure enough, boom. Now you can see that it's selected. And then you see the change down here. And then I can go into the new water bill. Select edit. Now we're editing. Test 2, 23. Save. Boom. It's saved. Now if I go back, water bill, test 23, saved. It's good. It works, guys. I'm going to zoom onto this. So we did it. We created this little gallery here to select which field we're trying to see down here. We have an add, edit, and save button. And then we can create some navigational buttons to go over to back to the main screen. So I'll go and do that. This is fairly simple. This time I'll use icons, and we're going to use some pretty straightforward out of the box icons from PowerApps. I got this arrow here saying, hey, take me back. And then on select, I'm going to say navigate. And I didn't even finish typing. I don't like typing all the way. I just want to be able to hit the down key and hit enter. And it fills it out. Again, you have, this was powerful for me. To understand what this thing was looking for or next helped a lot. Okay, and the target is going to be what screen I want to go to. And in this case, I want to go to the browser screen 1. And then I'm going to hit another comma. You see here you have this comma and the 3 dots. It means there's more stuff you can do. I'm going to say, okay, it says a transition. So this is an effect. How's that screen going to switch over? And I'm going to say swipe it to the right. And then close that bracket. And then let's see what happens. Boom. And then cover it over to the right, and then we're back at the screen. So I gotta go make some more navigation buttons. You guys don't want to see me go through all of that, but I will explain more on part 3. Stay tuned. Guys, if you like what you see, please subscribe. Feel free to like, comment if there's something you want to see, something you don't want to see. Hey, Art, you talk too much. Just get straight to the point. Go ahead, put it in there. Don't be too mean, though. I'm sensitive. I'm the strong, sensitive type. Just plain. You guys have a good one. Have a good weekend. Enjoy.